record. Yay, here we go. Harina Mikasha to me about Smain and Velima Tarazu, the Kolet Sadikim Amatim Shavrena, Kolet Sadikim Amatim Shachnefa, Tiloshim Sheba Sema Frat Levin Kadosh, Sadik Yesodalam, Nachal Novem, and Kol Chokmar Ben Nachman and Figure, Nanach Nachmo, Nachman Newman, it's Kusam again, because the main. And we were heading into Ot Dalid last time.
Yeah, I'm just glimpsing at it. It has your favorite phrase here.
Yeah, which is?
Bucky Beratzo, Bucky Beshov.
You got it, Bucky. Me Bucky.
Bucky.
Me Bucky. That's a pirate term for my friend is me Bucky.
Bucky.
So we were talking recently. So let's just do a quick review. The whole point of this whole all the information we're learning is so that we can get to the point of understanding how to minimize kvod atzmo and maximize kvod makom. And we said kvod atzmo is anytime there's I, then I'm giving weight to the forces of my free choice, forces of nature, time-space continuum, multiplicity, right? And there's we're differentiating between this kind of type of kvod atzmo as opposed to kvod milachim, the honor of kings, which Rabbi Nachman says we should flee from that honor. But kvod atzmo, he doesn't say nullify, he says minimize. So therefore, it can't be the same as the type of kvod he's saying to flee from, as opposed to kvod makom, which we're saying is the weight we give to the place. Which means that we're looking at Hashem's creating this place right now, brand new, made out of light, all of the elements in this place completely according to a plan and an intent and a unfolding of Hashem's brilliant tapestry. And the main service of Kvod HaMakom is to be, wow. The main service is, wow, how awesome, what an amazing, delightful creation. That's the main service. That's Dom Hashem. And the hardest time to do that is when we're feeling uncomfortable things. And that's the bizionot, the insults, and the charafot, the irritations that Hashem brings to us. And we need to train ourselves to hold consciousness in those times, because that's when we want to go into kvod atzmo. I don't like this. I don't want to do, even though the person who fell into a sin, lo aleinu, and he's going, oh, I am embarrassed. I've sinned. I don't like this. I want to do tshuva. Wonderful. That's great. But first, he said, Hamten, wait. Make it about Hashem first. Make it, wow, Hashem, you're creating a place, you're creating a me, you're creating a feeling called embarrassment. You're creating something called the need to do tshuva. How wonderful. How amazing. Wow. Okay? So that brings us, and he says, so the previous thing we were talking about is that there's the idea of giving Hashem kavod in two worlds, right? In the world, this world and the world to come. In the kavod of Hashem in this world is that he's creating the me, this place right now. The kavod of Hashem in the world to come is that he's creating the soul and he's creating my higher being and each moment of my awareness, whatever I'm aware of, that's also Hashem giving me that awareness. Right? So each level we can go both places. We want to always be aware of the oscillation and the vibration. And one thing that I understood from this is that we want to get into the habit of ping-ponging our thoughts. You know, this is what I'm doing, and this is what Hashem is doing. This is what I'm doing, this is what Hashem is doing. So, Dalid. So the person wants to go in the ways of tshuva, and this is, by the way, here we are. We're going to say this in just a minute. We're about right. Erev Rosh Chodesh Elul. This is Yom Kippur Katan Elul. So you need to know. Baki is like expertise.
Yeah, I know.
What?
Yeah, I know.
Baki is expertise, and we have to have Baki and halacha. And he chooses the word halacha here, I believe, to have both intents. Halacha means you have to know how to go, and also You have to know you have to know how the body of Jewish law, how to behave according to as a Jew. You have to have two expertises. Haina baki baratzo, baki b'shov. You have to be an expert in running and an expert in returning or sitting. Kamoshikasu, zaka'a man da'ayel v'nafek. Meritorious or innocent is the one that goes up and down. And this and this is what it says in Tehillim. It says if I reach heaven, there you are. Bechinas ayil, that's the aspect of going up. Bechinas baki v'ratzo, the aspect of expertise in running. Vatzia sha'ol hineka, and if I go down to hell, here you are. Now it's very interesting. Bechinas nafik, the aspect of going down. Bechinas baki b'shov, the aspect of expertise in going down or sitting or returning. Now, interestingly, the way David HaMelech says this is if you are medayek, if you're specific on the languaging, you see that he says, if I get up to heaven, there you are. If I go down to hell, here you are.
Yeah.
So what does that mean? That means that, like David HaMelech was saying, that like going up is you never really get there.
Yeah.
There you are. And I was realizing the word shamayim, heaven, actually is the word shamim, a series of theirs. Yeah, because you never really, Hashem's infinite. So no matter what level we go up to, there's more. No matter what level we get up to, there's more. Atzia sha'ol, hineka. If I go down to sha'ol, by the way, it's the interesting word for hell. It's the word of question.
Yeah.
Or borrowed also.
Yeah.
He says, "Here you are," which means like that's a place of actual sitting and experiencing, which makes sense. That's baki b'shov, sitting, and here I am in this place. Yeah. Whereas baki b'ratzo is there. It's always going. It's always going. Next. That's what baki b'ratzo is. No, you don't stop. You can keep going because there's always more.
Right.
And that's what we're going to see later. He talks about that there's something called mati velo mati, reaching and not reaching, because you reach this upper point, but you don't reach it. So he says, and this is the aspect of ani ladodi, v'zeb ani ladodi v'zdodi li. Like we said that the famous verse from Shir Shirim, I am to my beloved, and my beloved is to me. Ani ladodi zebechinas ayel. The aspect of I am to my beloved is the aspect I am going up. Right? I'm going to my beloved. V'dodi li zebechinas v'nafik. When my beloved comes to me, that's the aspect that Hashem is coming down to me. V'zeh sod kavanas elu. And this is the secret of the intent of the meditation and meditative intent of Elul, because we have to have both types of aspects for tshuva, and Elul is the length of tshuva, and we know that the Rashi Tevot, the acronym of that verse, Ani Ladodi V'Dodi Li, is Elul.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was just going to ask about Vizei Kark. Yeah, just what that means.
Yeah, ask what.
What does Vizei Kark Vodo mean?
That this is the main point of his kavod, that we have
Hashem's kavod?
that we have this awareness of up and down.
Kvodo is Kvod Hashem, or it's like Kavod of Hashem?
Right.
Yeah.
That's why it says v'zeh v'chibadato me'asot rachecha. You shall give him kavod from the doing of your ways. With that?
No. So what is this
Well,
talking about?
we're going to see. Drachecha lashon rabim. Your ways. It doesn't say your way. It says your ways. Hainu ayel v'nafek, meaning that there's two ways we have to go. We have to go up and we have to go down. And you have to know how to do both.
Yeah.
Kishiyesh lo elu shnei bekiyos anal, azai hu olech b'darchei hatshuva, v'zoche lechvod Hashem. So when a person has these two expertises of going up and going down, then he's going in the ways of tshuva. And he merits kavod Hashem. Because he's everything, no matter what, he's always able to recognize that it's all Hashem.
Yeah.
Right? People, we tend to, there's two times when we recognize Hashem, when we're in desperate need and we need help. Right? But that's not giving kavod to Hashem. That's like saying, oh no, I'm in trouble. Who's going to help me? Oh, Hashem, God, God help me. Right? But that's not tshuva. That's all about ego. That's me. We're not thinking of Hashem except when we need God. Right? And that's not
That's
tshuva.
interesting because that, I learned at the beginning of this situation, public health situation, that the Ramban teaches that that's the situation when tefillah is actually a mitzvah d'oraita.
When the world's in trouble?
Yeah, or when it's like I don't remember exactly the lashon, so I shouldn't.
The Ramban with a nun says that?
Yeah.
That's very interesting. What is he saying, that when the world's not like that, then tefillah is not derisa?
Something like that. When that the mitzvah of tefillah d'oraita is like when there's a real terrible crisis.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Thanks. I'll have to check that out. It's very interesting.
I should check it out. So I'm sure I have a feeling I mischaracterized it. But
I definitely want to learn about that. That's really interesting. Thank you. That's surprising, but I hear it. I mean,
I must be wrong.
I hear it because tefillah really is. When we say tefillah is bimkom korbanos, right?
Yeah.
So is tefillah then you say tefillah is derabanan. But at the same time, tefillah is the idea of being tafel. I think it's the same connection, right? Being subsidiary to.
Mm-hmm.
And David Melech said, I need tefillah. I am tefillah. And and it seems to me that tefillah is the state of being when we're fulfilling the first of the Aseres Adibros, Anochi, Hashem Elokeichem. That's the way to fulfill Anochi, is to be in a state of tefillah.
Yeah.
Interesting. So it says so there's the. So he says the Azai hu olech b'darchei tshuva v'zoche lekvod Hashem, k'mo shekasu v'chibadatom me'asos terachecha. You're giving him kavod from the doing of your ways. Hainu shezoche lekeser. He merits having keser. What's keser? The place of awareness of the unity of Hashem. Kiles kavod below kaf. There's no kavod without a kaf. Now, you could say that's the simple meaning is you can't spell the word kavod without kaf. You have to have kaf. But what kaf is keser. We said this earlier. Kaf is keser. In other words, there's no such thing as giving honor or weight to something without that awareness that it's all Hashem.
Yeah.
היינו שזוכה לכסף קילס כבוד בלוקף, ואז ימין השם פשוטה לקבל תשובתו. וזה סוד כוונת אלו. Now, it's interesting, he brackets this whole thing. He said it a minute ago, and then he says it again. And that's probably, the brackets indicate that it's Rav Nussin's addition there. And I think that what he's trying to show us is, we're going to see what the Arizal's meditative intent of the names of Hashem that are the meditation of Elul. We're going to see later Rabbi Nachman actually said, when he gave over this Torah, he said afterwards to his people, he said, now who can tell me? And it's like like Reb Yidel was there and Reb Shmuel Isaac, they're huge Torah scholars and Mekubalim. And he said, and he finished giving this Torah Vav here, and he said, now who can tell me, who can bring me a Siddur of the Arizal and look and see the covenant and show me what I just said is the embodiment of the Arizal's Kavanot Elul. And they were all dumbfounded. Like, what do you mean? Like, really? Like this whole idea that you just told us about Baki Ratza, and he shows exactly how it fits, and it's mind blowing. So that's what Rav Nassim is indicating here, that this paragraph between these two places where he said Sod Kavanat Elul is you see that's the embodiment of the Arizal's meditation of his kavanas there.
Wow.
So, and he says, and that's what happens when a person has this level of keter in their awareness, which is kvod makom, right? It's Hashem's. This place is just what Hashem's creating. This is all down. This multiplicity is really a manifestation of Hashem's unity.
Right.
And then that's when Hashem's right hand is stretched out to receive his tshuva. Okay. Should we go on?
What is Sivas tshuva? What does Sivas mean?
To receive his tshuva?
Oh, receive. Oh, I thought you. Okay, for us to receive his tshuva. Oh, the kabel. Okay.
Yeah. Should we go on, or is that enough for now?
Yeah, it seems like a good place to take a break for.
Okay, good. So let me pause this recording, and